Something shocking happened in Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré, a young and smart leader, found out there was an American spy hiding inside his own army. And what happened next will surprise you. The sun was just rising over the army camp. Soldiers were already awake. Some were running, some were cleaning their boots, and some were talking about their families. The camp was full of life, but one man was different. His name was John Carter. He said he was from America. He said he wanted to help, but he did not act like the other soldiers. He did not laugh. He did not talk much. He always watched people. He always wrote in a small notebook. He asked many questions about the army, about the president, about the weapons. Some soldiers thought he was just shy, but others felt something was wrong. John Carter's French was good, but his accent was strange. He sometimes used words that no one else used. He always wanted to know about the army's plans. He asked, "Where do we keep the big guns?" Or "How many soldiers are in this camp?" He even asked about the president's daily routine. The other soldiers started to avoid him. They whispered, "Why does he want to know so much?" One day, a soldier named Musa saw John Carter taking pictures of the camp with a small camera. Musa told his friend, "This is not normal. We need to tell someone." General Caboret, the president's most trusted man, started to watch John Carter. He told two soldiers, Musa and Idrissa, to follow him. Every day, they watched what John did. They saw him write in his notebook after every training. They saw him draw maps of the camp. They saw him watching the officers when they talked. Every night, they saw him leave his tent and walk alone. Sometimes he walked to the edge of the camp and looked out into the darkness. Sometimes he just stood and listened to the sounds of the night. One evening, the camp was quiet. The sun was going down, and the sky was turning red. Musa and Idrissa saw John Carter sitting alone, looking at his notebook. He looked around, making sure no one was watching. Then he got up and walked quickly toward the fence. The two soldiers followed him, staying in the shadows. John stopped near a big tree. He waited. After a few minutes, a man appeared from the darkness. The two men spoke quietly. The stranger gave John a small black phone. John hid the phone in his pocket and quickly walked away. Musa and Idrissa were shocked. They ran to tell General Caboret. General Caboret listened carefully. He knew this was serious. He told Musa and Idrissa to keep watching John Carter, but to be careful. He did not want John to know he was being watched. That night, General Caboret could not sleep. He thought about what to do. He knew he had to tell President Traoré. The next morning, General Caboret went to the presidential palace. He waited outside the president's office. When President Traoré arrived, he saw the worry on the general's face. "What is wrong?" the president asked. General Caboret said, "Sir, I think we have a spy in the army. His name is John Carter. He met a stranger last night and took a secret phone." President Traoré listened carefully. He did not get angry. He did not shout. He said, "We must be sure. Watch him closely. If he is a spy, we will catch him." Back at the camp, John Carter was acting normal. He joined the soldiers for breakfast. He listened to their stories, but he did not talk much. He kept his notebook close. He watched everything. He wrote down small details, like how many guards were at the gate, or when the trucks left the camp. He even wrote about the food and water supplies. The other soldiers noticed. They started to avoid him. Some were afraid. Some were angry. Musa and Idrissa kept following John. They saw him use the black phone late at night, hiding behind his tent. He spoke quietly, sometimes in English, sometimes in French. They could not hear what he said, but they knew it was important. One night, Musa got close enough to hear a few words. John said, "Yes, I am inside. I have the information. I will send it soon." Mouse's heart was beating fast. He knew this was proof. The next day, Musa and Idrissa went to General Caboret. They told him everything. General Caboret decided it was time to act. He called President Traoré and said, "Sir, we have proof. John Carter is a spy. He is sending information to someone outside." President Traoré said, "Bring him to me, now." Soldiers found John Carter in his tent. He was writing in his notebook. They took him to the president. President Traoré looked at John and asked, "Why are you here? Who sent you?" John tried to smile, but he was nervous. He said, "I am just a volunteer." The president said, "We saw you take the phone. We know you are a spy. Tell the truth." John's face turned white. He looked down and said, "Yes, I am a spy. I am sorry." President Traoré did not get angry. He wanted to know more. He asked, "Why did you come here?" John said, "My country sent me. They wanted to know your secrets. They wanted to know how strong your army is." The president listened. He asked, "Did you send any secrets to your country?" John said, "No, I did not have time. You caught me too fast." President Traoré called his advisors. Some said, "Put him in prison." Some said, "Send him back to America." The president thought hard. He wanted to show the world that Burkina Faso is strong, but also fair. He made his decision. But before he announced his decision, President Traoré wanted to know if there were more spies. He ordered a full search of the camp. Soldiers checked every tent, every bag, every notebook. They found nothing else. But they did find that John Carter had drawn maps of the camp, written down the names of officers, and made notes about the president's daily life. This made everyone more worried. The soldiers felt betrayed. Some were angry. Some were scared. They asked, "How many more spies are there? Are we safe?" President Traoré called all the soldiers together. He stood in front of them and said, "We found a spy in our army. He came to hurt us, but we are not weak. We are not cruel. We are Africans. We believe in justice. We will send him back to his country, but we will send a message with him. Tell your leaders that Africa is not a playground. We are strong. We are united. We will protect our land." The soldiers cheered. The news spread fast. People in the city talked about it. People in other countries talked about it too. But President Traoré did not stop there. He wanted to make sure his army was safe. He told his generals to check every soldier. He told them to look for anything strange. He told the soldiers, "If you see something, say something." The army became more careful. They trusted each other more. They knew their president was watching out for them. John Carter was sent back to America. He was quiet on the plane. He knew he had failed. When he arrived, he told his leaders what happened. He said, "Do not underestimate Africa. They are strong. They are smart. They are united." The American leaders were surprised. They did not expect President Traoré to act so quickly and so wisely. The story of the spy spread across Africa. People talked about it in markets, in schools, and in their homes. They said, "This is a leader who is brave. This is a leader who is wise." President Traoré became a hero. Other African leaders called him to say, "Well done. You have shown the world our strength." The people of Burkina Faso felt proud. They knew their president would protect them. After the American spy, John Carter, was sent back to his country, the whole army in Burkina Faso felt different. Some soldiers were still shocked. Some were angry that a spy had lived among them. Some were scared, thinking there could be more spies hiding in the camp. But President Traoré did not let fear take over. He knew this was a time to make his country even stronger. The president called a big meeting with all his top generals and officers. The room was full. Everyone was quiet, waiting for the president to speak. President Traoré stood up and looked at every face in the room. He said, "We have learned a hard lesson. We must always be careful. We must always protect our secrets. But we must also trust each other. We are a family. We are one army. We are one country." He told the generals to start new training for all soldiers. Every soldier would learn how to spot a spy. They would learn what questions are too personal. They would learn to watch for strange behavior. The president said, "If you see something, say something. No one should be afraid to speak up." The soldiers listened. They felt proud to be trusted. They wanted to protect their country even more. General Traoré worked day and night to make the army safer. He checked every soldier's background. He made sure no one could join the army without a full check. He talked to the soldiers about loyalty and honesty. He said, "A real soldier protects his brothers and sisters. A real soldier never betrays his country." The soldiers respected General Traoré. They knew he was strong and fair. In the villages and cities, people talked about the spy. Some were scared. Some were proud. Many parents told their children the story of how President Traoré caught the spy. They said, "Our president is smart. He is brave. He will always protect us." In schools, teachers used the story to teach about honesty and courage. Children learned that it is important to tell the truth and to stand up for what is right. The news about President Traoré's actions spread to other countries. Leaders from Africa called him to say, "You did the right thing." Some leaders from far away were surprised. They did not expect a young African president to act so quickly and so wisely. Some even tried to send messages to President Traoré, asking for peace and friendship. The world started to see Burkina Faso in a new way. They saw a country that was strong, smart, and united. But President Traoré did not let the praise go to his head. He stayed humble. He visited army camps and villages. He listened to the worries of his people. He made sure the soldiers had good food, clean water, and safe places to sleep. He told them, "You are the shield of our country. You are the hope of our future." The soldiers felt proud. They trained harder. They worked together. They trusted each other more. One day, a young soldier named Amadou came to the president. He said, "Sir, I was afraid to speak before, but now I know it is right to tell the truth. I saw John Carter looking at secret papers in the office. I did not say anything because I was scared, but now I know I should have spoken up." President Traoré smiled and said, "You are brave, Amadou. Thank you for telling the truth. You helped make our country safer." The president gave Amadou a medal for honesty. The other soldiers cheered. They learned that it is good to speak up when something is wrong. The story of the spy became a lesson for everyone. It showed that even when there is danger, a true leader chooses justice over revenge. It showed that Africa is a land of proud people and wise leaders. It showed that even in hard times, hope and justice can win. The people of Burkina Faso felt safe. They knew their leader was watching out for them. John Carter, the American spy, was back in his country. He was quiet. He thought about what happened. He told his leaders, "Do not underestimate Africa. They are strong. They are smart. They are united." The American leaders were surprised. They did not expect President Traoré to act so quickly and so wisely. Some even started to respect Burkina Faso more. As time passed, the army in Burkina Faso became even stronger. The soldiers trusted each other. They watched out for each other. They knew that if another spy came, they would find him. They knew their president would stand with them. The people of Burkina Faso felt proud. They knew their president would protect them. President Traoré used the story to teach his people. He said, "We must always be ready. We must always watch for danger, but we must also be fair. We must show the world that Africa is strong, but also just." He visited the army camps. He talked to the soldiers. He listened to their worries. He made sure they had what they needed. He told them, "You are the shield of our country. You are the hope of our people." The story of President Traoré and the American spy became a lesson for everyone. It showed that even when there is danger, a true leader chooses justice over revenge. It showed that Africa is a land of proud people and wise leaders. It showed that even in hard times, hope and justice can win. So, what would you do if you were in President Traoré's place? Would you choose anger, or would you choose justice? This story teaches us that even in the darkest times, a good leader can bring hope. Even when there are spies and secrets, the truth will come out. And when the truth comes out, the world will see the real strength of Africa. This is not just a story. This is a lesson for everyone. Never underestimate the power of a leader who loves his people. Never forget that justice is stronger than fear. And always remember, in Africa, every story has a lesson, and every lesson can change the world. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more amazing African tales, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Click the like button, share this video with your friends, and tell us in the comments what you would do if you were President Traoré. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story.